Okay, get ready, because this may be the last time we cross the Bay Bridge on the original eastern span that was built in 3.5 years and completed in 1936. In 1989, we had a 7.1 earthquake in the San Francisco Bay Area, and a slab of the upper deck of the eastern span collapsed, fell like a Lincoln log, tipped down, and created a big hole in the upper deck. And so that was in 1989. 24 years later, it's 2013, we've spent $6.4 billion to try to create a new eastern span of the Bay Bridge. And so this coming weekend, Labor Day weekend, 2013, my birthday weekend, they're going to supposedly be connecting the new eastern span. Now, there's some controversy over this, of course, because a lot of the parts that were used have been found to be faulty and for the new span. And so we're going to see what happens. But this very well may be the last time that we cross this part of the bridge while it's still standing. So come along, let me change lanes. We also have fast track now, which is not something we had back in 1989. We used to play only cash tolls. Now you could do both. This whole light business actually works. That's only been put in the past few years too. So you see we're curving on to the Bay Bridge. We're heading west into San Francisco, our hometown. You can see those iconic arches ahead. This is what we grew up with. This is what's been standing since 1936, and had the one slab fall down to hit the bottom deck in 1989 from the earthquake. But since then it's been standing. They seem to have patched it up pretty well. Blue sky? Anybody? Blue sky? Hey, what do you know? Over here on the right, these white pillars, they're going to be part of the new eastern span. I don't know if you can see them, which is supposed to have a bike lane and a pedestrian access, in addition to letting the cars pass. And as we come up here around this curve, and you're going to see, well, straight ahead, the original bridge in all its industrial, iconic glory. And then on the right, we're going to see this gigantic white tower of the central part of this new eastern span that's going to supposedly be connected next weekend, Labor Day weekend of 2013. Maybe I'll get a new bridge for my birthday. So it says slow down, 35 miles an hour, because there's an S-curve that they put in a few years ago to try to connect, get prepared to connect the actual eastern span. But it has slowed down traffic and confused people and caused a couple of accidents. However, that S-curve is supposed to be eliminated after they connect this new bridge. See the top of the tower? I can't. It's huge! We can only hope that the new bridge doesn't fall apart. And you know, people say, oh, what's going to happen? Well, you know, the most we can really hope for is that it stays standing until the next big earthquake. I guess the most most what we had hoped for is that it won't fall apart in the next big earthquake. We haven't had a big one since 1989 here. 7.1. That was the S-curve going through the original tunnel, Yerba Buena Island, which we call Treasure Island because Treasure Island is man-made and built onto the northern part of Yerba Buena Island. It's a naval, U.S. Navy experiment, and actually a nuclear waste dump, but people who live there don't pay attention to that. Oh, look at the arches! Look at the arches! Now we're on the western span, which will be standing for quite a while, since it took 24 years to build a new eastern span. So we still get this silver sweep into our silver city of San Francisco. Don't call it Frisco, yo. San Francisco, hometown, fifth generation. What are you? Ooh, what? Little bit of fog hanging out over the city, of course, but also some blue skies. So we're a lucky, lucky crew to be driving into the city and driving into some blue. Also put in these new things, they're not speed bumps, they call them rumble strips. Supposedly to slow down traffic. Yeah, tower. Whoa! Alright, this has been your tour of the Bay Bridge, coming from the east, going to the west, potentially for the last time on that original eastern span, and we can only think positive thoughts as we move forward with the new eastern span coming in next week, and hope for the love of God that it stands despite the faulty bolts and cracks in the welding. Love you. I'm Val. Peace. Happy day, San Francisco.